Today we're talking about parents. Parents as assets. Here's the thing, you guys. No one knows your kids better than your parents, right? All the behaviors and things that you're seeing in class, I highly doubt that it's going to be the first time that these kiddos are using this type of behavior. I'm pretty sure the parents have seen it. So tap into the parents' knowledge about maybe what do they do when a kid escalates, or maybe do they know what happens to escalate a specific child or anything like that. So for example, we had a kiddo, you may have heard me tell this story, that anytime we would introduce a new dance step, she would need water. May I have water? Sure, because that was a behavior that we chose to teach her, that she needed to go and get the water. She needed to ask to go get the water, not just leave. But what we noticed was that she would kind of get stuck over in the getting water, and she would be hesitant to come back into class to learn. And so one day I went out and I tried all the things I knew to get this kiddo back into class, and I couldn't. She wasn't coming back. She was like, nope. So I went outside, asked mom, and said, hey, we're having trouble getting her back into class. Do you have any strategies that we might be able to use? And she said, why don't you use a timer? Tell her she has a minute to take a break, and then she can get back in after that. And so I was like, okay. So I brought my phone over to where this kiddo was sitting, and I put it down. I put my timer on a minute, and I said, mom said you can take a break, but only for 1 minute. So when that timer goes off, you have to come back into class. Left the timer in the kid, and I went back to dance where she was supposed to be dancing. And lo and behold, the timer went off. She turned it off and she came right back into class. And when she came back, I was like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Look, let's practice this new dance step. And it worked. And we've used that strategy so many times since then, and it really, really works. So I probably wouldn't have thought of that on my own unless the parent had told me that. So definitely ask the parents for strategies. Think about contracting. So if you have an older child who can kind of connect dots really well and say, if you participate in class for X many of minutes, then you get this reward at the end of class. Talk to the parents about what they might be able to use in order to contract with that kid. So it has to be something that's highly motivating to the kid, and also something that the parents will agree to withhold from the kid if they don't meet the requirements. And also probably something they don't have access to all the time. So you want to have that dialogue with the parents at that point. And also another good thing, whenever the kids arrive to class, ask the parents, so how was today? What'd you guys do today? And you can get a lot of information about what that child has been through throughout the day. So if that child has been through just like sensory input after sensory input after sensory input, and they are tired, then it might be a little bit of a challenging day for that kiddo, and you may treat them differently. You may give them more breaks. You may look for signs of escalation. We had a situation where this one kid, every time we would do a specific dance step, this one kid would start running around and doing all these kind of almost violent pantomiming things. And after talking to mom, we realized that the kiddo played karate games on the iPad on the way to class. And what was happening was this dance step was mimicking, it was reminding the kid about the karate game, and then he would go into full karate game enactment. And so what we did was we asked mom to maybe do the karate game after dance class and do something else on the way to dance class. So those are just a couple ways you can use your parents for assets, but always include them and have them be part of the solution. They're not scary people. They're really awesome people. All right. Bye, guys.